Hello boys, how are you all? I hope you all are fine, taking care of yourselves, right? Okay, so we are back again with our moral science class. Today we will be beginning with our new lesson, that is the power of ahimsa. This lesson is on your page number 66 in your moral science book, page number 66, lesson number 13, the power of ahimsa. Okay, by this heading, ahimsa, what do you mean by ahimsa, boys? Ahimsa means non-violence, that is not hurting anyone, to not hurt anyone's feeling or to not hurt anyone physically, right boys? Okay, so we will study in this lesson about two great people who followed this ahimsa path and became very successful, right? Okay, let's see. A person who does not harm or injure others is said to be a non-violent person. So you see, who is a non-violent person? A person who does not harm or injure anyone, right? So if you harm others, is it a good thing? Like when you go and beat someone or you push someone or you throw anything at other person, that is a good thing or a bad thing? It's absolutely a bad thing, boys, right? So, a person who does these things, hitting each other, is known as a violent person. But a person who adopts peaceful methods, who does not harm anyone, is known as a non-violent person. Okay? So, you want to be a violent person or a non-violent person? Boys, I hope you all come in a non-violent category. Right? Okay. When you use peaceful means to do a work, you believe in non-violence. See, when you use peaceful means that when you avoid hitting others or when you avoid hurting the feelings of anyone, that is known as peaceful means. So when you respect anyone and do not harm him or her, then you are a non-violent person, right? Okay, so children, India has produced some great icons of non-violence. So two of them are Mahatma Gandhi and King Ashok, about whom we are going to study in this lesson. I hope you all have heard these two great personalities' name, right boys? Who was Mahatma Gandhi, boys? Mahatma Gandhi is your father of the nation, right? Why do we call him father of the nation, boys? Yes, we call him father of the nation because he was the one person who made India a free country, who gave independence to our country through his struggle and through his non-violence towards Britishers, right? Okay, let's study about him in this lesson. Father of the nation, Mahatma and Bapu. All these titles spell the greatness of the person named Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So you see, these three are the titles given to Gandhiji, Father of the Nation, Mahatma and Bapu. Right? But his original name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. His original and full name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. But these titles, three titles were given to him. Why? Because of his greatness, because of his great work which he did for his people and his country. Right, boys? Okay, let's read further. Mahatma Gandhi was born on October 2nd, 1869 at Porbandar, Gujarat. So he was born on which date, boys? 2nd October. That's why on that day we celebrate Gandhi Jayanti. Okay, and in which place? At which place he was born? He was born in Gujarat at Porbandar. Correct? Now, his parents were Karamchand Gandhi and Putli Bai. So, his father's name was Karamchand Gandhi and mother's name was Putli Bai. All through his life, Gandhiji believed in ahimsa, non-violence and satya, that is truth. So he followed basically two principles. First was non-violence, that one should never hurt anyone physically, right? And second one was Satya, that is truth, that one should always speak the truth and never lie or never cheat anyone, right boys? So do you follow these two principles in your life like Gandhiji? I believe you are not following these two principles. You lie to your parents, to your siblings, and you hit to your younger brothers and sisters and your classmates. Yes, I have seen that. So, will you become a good person, a great person in future if you do these things? No. So, you have to stop doing that, right? Okay. In his early childhood, Gandhiji studied at Rajkot. In 1888, after high school, he went to England. There he became a barrister. So he became a barrister. Barrister means a lawyer. He came back to India and started his career as a lawyer in Bombay, now known as Mumbai. So he went to England, he studied there about lawyer degree, and then he came back to India, and then he started pursuing his career in lawyer field, and in which city? In Mumbai. Okay. In 1893, he went to South Africa. There, he bravely stood up for the benefit of his fellow Indians. Now, bravely means courageously. He had courage to stand for the people of his country. Now, in the year 1915, he came back to India and led the freedom struggle against the British. Now, at that time, India was under the rule of the Britishers, right? And there were many freedom fighters who were fighting for the freedom of our country, but nobody could achieve success, right? But Mahatma Gandhi was one person that started this struggle and later achieved success, that was the independence of our country. So he started in which year? 1915, and he devoted himself towards the cause of freedom, and he gave himself completely for the freedom of our country. He did not think about himself, he just thought about the people of the country and about the freedom of the country, right? Okay, so Gandhiji started the non-cooperation movement in 1920. So there were different movements which were started by Gandhiji against the Britishers so that they leave our country, right? He asked people to follow peaceful means to protest against the British. But he never used violence, he never used to hurt anyone or kill anyone or use any weapon against anyone. He used only peaceful methods. Peaceful methods means by talking and by just discussing over the things. Okay. But when people became violent at certain places like Chauri Chaura, Gandhiji strongly opposed them. But there were other people who were not like Gandhiji, and they did not follow the non-violence movement, and they just wanted to be violent. So Gandhiji completely opposed them. He was completely against them. He did not want any bloodshed. He did not want anyone to die or anyone to get physically hurt. Right? So he just was against violence. Gandhiji also started the civil disobedience movement. He also conducted Dandi March, which was a very important movement, which was done in during this freedom struggle only. In 1942, he started the Quit India movement. So these were the very great movements which were started by Gandhiji against the Britishers so that they leave our country, which were completely non-violent and peaceful, right? Finally, because of his and others' efforts, others means who were his supporters, who were his followers, who used to follow him or who used to do things whatever he used to tell them. India became independent on August 15, 1947. So recently we celebrated Independence Day, boys, right? So India became free and independent in which year? 1947. Yes. So Gandhiji showed respect for teachings of all religions. He used to respect all the religions, whether it be Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, anyone, right? He used to respect all the religions and was loving towards the people of low caste, and he never discriminated the people of the low caste. He used to give them equal respect. He never used to treat them in a bad way. He called the low caste people as Harijans, meaning the people of God. In fact, the lower caste people were known as Harijans. Harijans means people of God. He used to call them people of God. That means they were very nice people, great people. They were directly the people of God. He never used to think down upon them. He used to equally respect them also. Right? Okay. Unfortunately, this great apostle of peace was shot dead on January 30th, 1948. But unfortunately, he was shot dead. Apostle means he was a follower or a disciple of peace, and he was shot dead. Who killed Gandhiji, boys? Do you all know? Nathuram Godse in 1948 on January 30th, right? So he was shot dead, and then it was a very bad or a very unfortunate incident, right, boys? So we read about Gandhiji, and now let's read about King Ashoka. So who was King Ashoka? He was the great great king of the Mauryan Empire. He was the king of Mauryan Empire. He was born in 304 BC at Patliputra. He died in 232 BC. These dates, boys, you need not remember. These are just for your reading purpose. He ruled for about 40 years. How many years, boys? 40 years. So as to expand his kingdom, he attacked the kingdom of Kalinga in around 262 BC. So earlier, boys, what kings used to do was to gain the kingdoms of their nearby regions. They used to attack them and then kill the people or take over the throne of the kingdoms of the nearby countries, nearby regions, sorry. So this king also, King Ashoka, also used to attack the neighboring kingdoms to gain their throne, right? So what happened in 262 BC? He attacked the kingdom of Kalinga. After a great slaughter of men, slaughter means to kill men. After a great killing of men, women and children, he conquered Kalinga. So he conquered Kalinga. He killed many people of Kalinga, like it included men, women, children, everyone. He just killed them and conquered Kalinga. Conquered means he won Kalinga. He got Kalinga also in his empire. The battlefield site of terrible ruin changed him forever. Now this site of the battlefield, the bloodshed which was everywhere, the blood of the small children, women, innocent people, was a very terrible scene which ruined everything. Which spoiled, ruined means to spoil everything, which changed things for him forever. He gave up fighting battles. After looking at those people, the bloodshed, he became very sad. He was very sorry that he did these things to the innocent people, right? And he left fighting forever. He left all these kingdom and fighting and everything and started a very peaceful life. He started following the path of non-violence. So he became a follower of non-violence. Non-violence means he left everything which used to hurt people, right? And he started following a very peaceful path. He gave up all violent actions and started following Buddhism. Buddhism is also a religion which totally focuses on non-violence, that is peaceful method of living without hurting anyone physically or mentally, right? So these are the two great people about whom we read in this lesson. I hope you take lesson from this chapter, from the great lives of these two people, and become a very good non-violent person. Because boys, you know that if you hurt anyone, you will not be at peace and that person will also be very hurt by you, right? So is it good to hurt anyone? Is it good to hit anyone or to say bad things to others? Is it good? Then if you will do these things, then never you will become successful in your life. You will never become a good person. So you should stop doing these things and become a peaceful and a good boy who respects others and who mutually talk to others when there is a problem. Right, boys? So read this lesson nicely. I have already explained you. Go through the lesson, understand it. I will post the exercises along with this lesson. Please do the exercises. Okay, boys? Take care. Thank you. God bless you all.